Michael LeVias reporting to you live for infowars.com, bringing you the Infowars Special Report. Topics of today. Have we been hoodwinked? Have we been bamboozled? Is the United States still the United States, or something altogether different? Also, the Air Force have a machine that can modify weather patterns and send signals to your brain? Fact or fiction? As well as the RFID chips seem to grow popular more and more in today's mainstream society, we're going to take a look at its impact on social media. Infowars.com. Yes, it's true, folks. The United States is no longer the United States, but something now called the North American Union, which combines Canada and Mexico, as well as the United States, as one country. Yes, Bush signed this back in 2006. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a little bit of footage that was actually covered by CNN on it. We'll be back. Infowars.
The Bush administration's open borders policy and its decision to ignore the enforcement of this country's immigration laws is part of a broader agenda. President Bush signed a formal agreement that will end the United States as we know it, and he took the step without approval from either the U.S. Congress or the people of the United States.
It's a deal that few have even heard of.
It's being done again by very few people at the very top on behalf of the investment class, but the working class of people, political officials across our country, from communities, from cities and so forth, they don't know.
We're back. Infowars.com. Yeah, you saw it for yourself, folks. And isn't that a little familiar? A president doing something without congressional approval? Sound like Obama. It seems that the Air Force continue to deny the fact that they have a patent related to this weather modification machine, also known as HAARP. But we have direct footage that says exactly the opposite. Let's go ahead and
denies it's working on it. But patent number 6470214, issued on October 22nd, 2002, says otherwise. The patent title, Method and Device for Implementing the Radio Frequency Hearing Effect. Patent holder, the U.S. Air Force. Documents surrounding the development of this secret weapon are classified. But what is known is that microwaves carry energy. When a microwave pulse is absorbed by our body, this energy is converted to heat, causing the tissue to expand slightly and then contract when it cools. If the microwave were aimed at our heads, this expansion and contraction would be heard as a clicking sound that could be encoded into words.
With that sort of technology, you could give someone an instruction, or you could perhaps make them think they were going mad. And it quite clearly talks about the military applications of this technology.
Is patent number 6470214 a top-secret mind control weapon? According to this passage in the patent documents, this device can beam energy waves that can be, quote, converted to nerve signals which are sent to the brain, thereby enabling intelligible speech to be perceived by the brain. The result? The person hears voices that aren't there, much like the voices reportedly heard by targeted individuals. If this mind control weapon exists, could this technology be deployed on a mass scale? There is speculation that the government already has.
He who controls the thoughts of the people controls the world. Historically speaking, warfare has been about territory. The future may be the battle for the mind.
Is that battle to control minds already being waged on a mass scale? Disturbing questions have been raised about a U.S. government program known as HAARP.
HAARP is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Project. It was developed initially by the Navy and Air Force back in the 1980s, but essentially it was to modify or alter the ionosphere, a layer that begins about 30 miles above the Earth's surface.
HAARP is a bank of 180 antennas, each as tall as a 7-story building, erected near Gakona, Alaska. The antennas emit extremely low-frequency waves, also known as ELF waves, into the upper atmosphere, which bounce back to Earth and allegedly provide advanced data for studying weather patterns. Researchers like Nick Begich and even some scientists speculate HAARP is being used as a weapon against our enemies to create severe storms, hurricanes, even earthquakes, all part of a covert weather warfare program. But HAARP has also been linked to mind control.
There are many people who believe that systems such as HAARP, which the US government says is about researching the ionosphere and the effects that it has on communication systems. But a lot of people don't believe that. They think that's a cover story, and they think that what this is really all about is behavior modification and mind control.
You'd have a signal that would hit the ionosphere, begin to pulse the energy into the ionosphere, and the ionosphere, this layer, would begin to pulse back. So it changes it from a direct current to an alternating current, sending back to the Earth in the ELF range, extremely low frequency range of 1 to 20 hertz. Those same frequencies, 1 to 20 hertz, happen to correlate with predominant brain frequencies in human beings.
There is scientific data to back up claims that ELF waves can affect human behavior. During the 1960s and 1970s, Dr. Andrija Puharic studied the impact ELF waves have on the brain. What he discovered was shocking. Dr. Puharic found that a 6.6 Hz ELF wave could cause depression. A 7.83 Hz ELF wave made a person feel good, producing an altered state. And a 10.80 Hz ELF wave could trigger riotous behavior. His findings were loudly dismissed as foolishness by U.S. military leaders. But secretly, black ops mind control projects using ELF waves were being discussed at the highest levels of government.
We can do things in our brain. We know the capability is there, the information necessary to make these big leaps in and of themselves. Can I use this negatively? Can I use it to harm people? Absolutely.
President Lyndon B. Johnson had on his board of science advisors geophysicist J.F. McDonald, who wrote that by using accurately timed, artificially excited electronic strokes, quote, one could develop a system that would seriously impair the brain performance of very large populations in selected regions over an extended period.
If you go back to the work of Gordon J.F. McDonald in the 1970s, you'll find that he was talking about being able to modulate a signal into the ionosphere that would be able to return a signal that the human body would couple with, would lock onto, and begin to follow in a manner that would change the emotional state of people over a large geographic area.
Does HAARP fulfill McDonald's prophecy? Has the day of mass mind control arrived?
For those people that believe HAARP is about mind control, the implications are immense. This isn't just about influencing the behavior of one or two individuals. If it can be done on such a scale, you could effectively control the minds of entire populations.
The military potential of mind control is obvious. Enemies could be intimidated or be made passive without a shot being fired. The argument is that this would always be preferable to war. But could this technology be used to create a better world? It may depend on one's definition of better.
Infowars.com, Prison Planet TV. And now that we know the pros and cons of HAARP and the RFID chip, and its negative factors as far as the human mind, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to discuss its creepy, crawly, snail-like pace into social media and how it can impact you. Stay tuned.